Good evening, folks. Hope this thing is working. If it is, I'd like to welcome you to yet another crazy live stream. Um, got a couple of things to talk to you guys about today. But before I get into my boring stuff, let's see what you guys want to talk about. Hoping as well the quality is a little bit better. I've been playing around with some settings on the computer here, so at least from the YouTube feedback here, I seem to be getting a green stream health indication rather than the red that I used to get last time, so that's all good. I'm probably not going to be back with you guys for about another 2 weeks again, I'd say, because we have some crazy stuff going on at the minute. Um, so let's get straight to it. How are we coming through? Can you guys hear me, see me? Everything else working okay? And looks like we have people from all over the world this evening. So thank you everyone for tuning in. It can be amazing sometimes. I posted off some boards today. There were four. I had two going to America, one to New Zealand, and one to Norway. So it's all one of those things that I find very humbling sometimes, is the kind of worldwide you know I guess the way that all this stuff goes. So yeah, okay, good. Glad we've got our streaming running a little bit better, because the last time was a bit of a disaster. But I've got my workshop working better for me. So one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about this evening is the situation regarding the Tesla small drive unit. Now, for any of you that haven't watched that, very long and very boring video of me talking about it that I put up about a week ago, basically the bottom line is that we were having a lot of drive unit failures, and basically as a result of the operation of the open source logic board that I had designed over a year ago to run that particular motor. And there's been quite a convoluted process of there were two motorsport teams based in Europe, and one of them managed to solve the problem, but then decided they didn't want to share the solution to it, and that left myself and the second team in a bit of a bind. So since then, and since making that video, Johannes and myself have been working on a solution, and I'm pleased to say that we have the groundwork done for that. And let me get myself a little bit. Am I going too far off that way? I'm going too far this way. Yeah. So we have the groundwork done for a solution. I'm looking into this thing properly. I don't know. And we will be testing that very, very soon. In fact, next week I'm going to be traveling to the location that the second team are in, and I will be helping them get their car running and hopefully prove that we have a working fix here. So it's been a bit of a stress for me. I won't I won't lie about it. And it's actually everything kind of just came together in one way. So I'm kind of glad now that it's going to come to a head and that we're going to find a fix for it. But one of the things I want to talk to you guys about was um, what the actual problem is. Um, and sorry, I'm getting distracted. Uh, wow, someone's got a lot of IGBTs. Well, that's always good. Always good. Um, IGBTs are good. Everybody needs those. Everyone's still hearing me okay? Am I not clear? Because I'm not wearing the tight lip mic. Maybe I should be. But what I wanted to talk to you guys about tonight was the kind of technical detail as to what was going on, what I think is the source of the problem, and what we're doing to fix it. And of course, we'll do a bit of a Q&A later on when people get bored of listening to me rambling on about boring Tesla technical stuff. Now, as most of you guys that have been following the channel will know, I've pretty much beat the hell out of the large drive unit myself in the E31 and various other uh, players, customers, and people interested in it, particularly the Zero EV drift car has been thrown around the track by a professional driver in the last couple of weeks. I'm putting my feet up on one of my Prius batteries here and it keeps moving around on me, so apologies if I have a bit of a movable feast. So, the large drive unit has basically had the head beaten off it and has never flinched once. I mean, I pushed up on the dyno. I had the current limit wound out to 3,000 amps. And both the transistors and the motor kind of just laughed at me and said, "Well, is that the best you can do?" So I guess rather foolishly, I guess everything can be seen this way in 2020 hindsight. I just assumed that the same would be the case for the small drive unit. And the same was most certainly not the case, and I was very, very wrong about that. Now, don't want to get into a whole thing where I start, blaming myself because I did that in the last video. But what I want to do is I want to try to describe the technical aspects. Now, I guess the first thing is when you think about the small drive unit is that it's smaller. I know, wow, I can, yeah, great, thanks for the news flash, Damien. So it's smaller. It is also referred to sometimes as the high efficiency drive unit. Now, if we think about those two things, so if it's physically smaller, and it's labeled as a high efficiency unit, what does that mean electrically? Well, one thing it means is that there's going to be less silicon, so there's going to be less transistors in there. There's going to be less copper in the motor. Now, let me see if I can find my notes here for you guys, because honestly, right now, I don't even know my own name. So first thing I did once I got the drive unit up here on the bench was I measured the inductance of the windings. Now it's just with a little cheap, eBay $20 inductance meter. I'll get if the sound isn't helping you guys, I will put my tight clip mic on. I was just being a bit too experimental tonight. So yeah, I measured the inductance with a little cheapo meter, and what we found was that the inductance was about 415 microhenries. Okay, so what? Well, the large drive unit comes in at about 700 microhenries. Now, that's all very good, says you. Right now, there's my microphone input, or do I not have one on this piece of crap? Oh, wait, now, here we go. There it is. All right, so now I get to play with the software so that the sound comes through this damn thing. All right, let's try that. Audio input capture. Okay, add existing. My gosh. Nope. I don't know. This is where I get to look like a prat again, isn't it? Yes, I want to delete this one. Nope, now there is no sound. Great. I don't know. I don't know if this is working at all. Hello, microphone. Hello there. Can anyone hear me? Other crappy live stream. Well, I'm just going to assume that it is working. It's probably not, but you know, hey, what can possibly go wrong, right? Oh, great. I'm getting echoes now. Never easy. Okay, guys, I'll try and fix it. Alright. Echoing. Okay, great. Alright. Okay, how am I doing now? Yeah, I am geeking out, correct. I don't know, can anyone hear me now? Are we less echoing? I've turned off one of them, I think. 1, 2, testing 1, 2. All right, brilliant. Okay, we're sorted. Sweet. So now I was ranting on. No more echo? Spot on. All right, sweet. Now, so. All right, excellent. I think I must have the tight clip mic working. All right, nice one. So yeah, as I was saying, we had 415 microhenries of inductance on our small drive unit, and we had 700 on the large drive unit. Now, my crappy Enova motor here had 885 microhenries, and my Prius MG2 had 5 millihenries, so lots of henries. So, okay. So that means that we have, as we figured, a good bit less copper in there. So we got less inductance at the same frequency. What does that mean? Well, if we look at the reactance of the 415 microhenries at 8.8 kilohertz, which is our switching frequency, we get 23 ohms. So what that means is that the windings of the motor look like a 23 ohm resistor to the 400 volts DC bus when they're switched at 8.8 kilohertz. Now, okay, so what? Okay. Well, the what of it is that we are blowing the IGBTs in the inverter. Now, up to when Team A, as I call them, these are the guys that have stopped talking to me. Up to when they stopped talking to me, I think blown up. Um, they had blown up, I believe, 3 or 4 units, and uh, I know that the Team B guys have blown up 6 of them. So what's causing it is the next question, and why did we get away with it with the large drive unit? Well, the best guess that I can come up with is that we got away with it because of the increased inductance in the large drive unit windings and the increased capacity of the inverter to cope with the current spikes and the voltage overshoots. Now, in order to understand what would be causing the voltage overshoots, we have to look at how the hardware shutdown circuit in the inverter works. And it works in a fairly simple way. It's basically a analog window comparator. So what that means is that the current flow that goes into the motor's stator passes through 2 current sensors. And those current sensors create a voltage output that is proportional to the current that flows through the conductor that's passing through them. And what we do is we set limits on what that current can be. So it's basically a sine wave, which is the frequency that we're injecting into the stator at any particular time. And the output of that is channeled into a window comparator. And the window comparator simply sets a high and a low limit, and as long as the voltage that represents the current stays within that, you're fine. The inverter powers away. But if you stray outside the window, it very, very quickly trips a pin on the microcontroller called BK in. And that is connected directly to the hardware timer that generates the 6 PWM outputs. And what that does is it immediately slams all 6 of the PWM drivers to low, basically 0 volts. Now, you could be, and probably would be, running at very high current in the stator at that particular time. And when you shut down the transistors abruptly, the magnetic field in the stator collapses and produces a voltage kickback. And I believe that that's the second cause of the IGBT failures. That when we release the energy in the stator during an overcurrent condition, we basically blow the hell out of the inverter. Now, so that leaves us with 2 problems. Number 1 is we've got a very low inductance rotor. There's not a lot that we can do about the physical construction of that. And number 2 problem then is that when we do hard shutdowns, we're basically causing a voltage overshoot that's killing the IGBTs. All right, now, before I lose everybody's interest and also before I fall asleep here because I'm somewhat wrecked today. What are we doing about that? Well, first thing that we can do about inductance is we can bump up the switching frequency. The next increment up on switching frequency from 8.8 kilohertz. So can anyone hear me, or am I just talking to myself here? Because fun though it will be to go messing with this stupid computer again. So good. The good news is we fixed the picture. The bad news is we've broken the sound. So I don't know, guys. All right. Well, then I'm just going to leave it. So I'm not going to mess around anymore with it. Because if I break it again, I'm not sure I have the stamina to fix it. Yeah, so basically, all right, sweet. So, what are we going to do? Okay, so we've been running all of our inverters at 8.8 kilohertz. Now, 8.8 kilohertz is a good frequency to run about, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. Probably not such a good frequency nowadays. And don't forget that the small drive units are about 5 years newer than the large drive units. So that means they've got newer silicon. It means they've got newer IGBTs, newer IGBT drivers, and it means they're going to be faster. So first thing that Muggins did was I cranked the switching frequency up to 17.6 kilohertz. Now the big difference there is when you do a reactance for 415 microhenries at 17.6 kilohertz, you get 46 ohms, double the frequency, double the reactance if you keep the inductance the same. How can you say that? Very fast backwards. Right, so that buys us twice the reactance that we would have had at 8.8 kilohertz. I think that's going to be a big step. Now, I've tested that here on the bench. The drivers don't have a problem, the transistors don't have a problem, the motor doesn't have a problem. In fact, it kind of likes it a lot. It runs quite a bit smoother, and we get way less current overshoots at 17.6 than we do at 8.8. And yes, I tried it at 4.4 just for the hell of it. And it was not very pleasant for the thing, to say the least of it. But, okay, so that's change number one. We are going to bump up our switching frequency. I think that will help particularly down at low rotor speed and high stator current situations as well. But that wouldn't stop us from the problem that if we want to do as the guys do, because this is a motorsport application, so really, here I go. They want to be able to, just from a dead stop, slam the power on and, get the car to just launch. Now, if we try that with the current setup, what's going to happen is we're going to slam on we're going to slam the accelerator to full. The problem, David, is that nobody wants to tell me what the original switching frequency is. And can you imagine that? Do I have a website for any physical products? Yes, evbmw.com. Yeah, nobody wants to tell me what Tesla use for switching frequencies. Of course, they don't, because then bold old Damien would go and make that public knowledge, and we can't have these kind of secrets getting out there. The children could hurt themselves. You've been warned. Now, right, back to the lecture. I'm getting this. Am I kind of sounding like a crazy Professor Kelly at this stage? Probably am. Right. A quick check with a scope would tell me, yes, David, it would. If I had the CAN commands to run the original Tesla logic board, and guess what? No one's going to tell me what they are, because then I'll make them public. Yeah, you bet I would. Now, so back to the lecture. Stop interrupting me, you pesky viewers. Now, I keep making a tuning fork out of this thing. Right. So yes. Now, what are we going to do about the? What are we going to do about the? Wait a second. You pesky viewers, you have to stop giving me ideas. Okay, seriously, guys. Can't I just poke the backside of a Tesla car that already runs one and see? Hmm. Yeah, we might actually be able to do that. So, anyway. Well, I actually got rid of the Lexus hybrid transmission and got myself some Prius ones instead, but just don't tell anyone. Now, back to my somewhat disjointed lecture on Tesla motors blowing up. Now, right. So, what are we going to do about blowing the transistors from the current overshoots? Well, our Team A friends, prior to their departure from my sphere of influence, had obviously solved the problem. And what they were telling me at the time was they were implementing a cycle by cycle current limit. How they were doing that, whether it was software, hardware, or a bit of both, they didn't particularly share with me. Uh, so I've been kicking this around for the past week with Johannes, and we're going to do both. He's working on the software side of things, and I'm working on the hardware. Um, so how do we do that? Okay, so do I have a normal job or do I just work with EVs? I used to have a normal job. Now I work with EVs all the damn time. And that's how come I'm here talking to you guys and not dead. Because if I had continued doing the old 9 to 5, I don't think I would be above ground any longer. Uh, so back to the music. Now, so what we need to do is we need to stop the current from running away when we slam power on. If we get a current excursion that trips the hardware limiter, then that is going to cause our inverter to do a hard shutdown, and that's going to cause it to blow the hell out of itself. So what we need to do is we need to stop it getting there unless it's a real emergency, which is kind of what the hardware current limiter is for. Now, to be fair to the large drive unit and other inverters, they don't have a problem with using the window comparator hardware shutdown as a means of, controlling current. But what Johannes is doing is he is introducing a software current limit in there. So what's going to happen is that you'll have two current limits now. You will have the hardware, you will have the hardware shutdown limit, and you will have the software limit. So you put on power and the current wants to go up, 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 up. It's going to reach the software limit and it's going to level off until the conditions within the motor are such that it can afford to let more current in without causing harm. And we have the window comparator still there to initiate a hardware shutdown if something goes completely bananas. Now, that's the software side of it. Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be doing, David, basically. You just made a comment there. Now, you have to be careful with inverters when you get up to high power. You can do a lot of things with inverters at low power, but when you get up to controlling 1, 2, and 300 kilowatts, things get a little bit interesting. So some of the methodologies that you would use for current limiting in smaller power inverters will hand you your ass, or in fact some fried IGBTs on a plate if you try it with that kind of power. Now, no, we will not reduce the switching frequency, but we will probably reduce the injected stator frequency. There's two different things here, guys. Switching frequency will be at 17.6 kilohertz. Now, back to the last piece of the puzzle, which is what Muggins is doing. So, what we're doing is we're putting a second window comparator circuit into the design. And that will operate at a lower level than the shutdown circuit. And it's going to be analog, so it's going to be damn fast, and it will act as a backup to the software limiter, and it will basically cut the throttle back when this window is exceeded. So rather than it initiating a hard shutdown of the inverter, it will override the user's input and cut the power back. So those are the three things, because people tell me I have a problem pronouncing THs. I don't know, maybe I do, but anyway. So 3 things that we're doing. Number 1, switching frequency. Number 2, software current limit. Number 2, hardware, or number 3, Jesus, hardware current limit. So that's what we're doing, guys. And yours truly here is going to be on the front lines with Team B next week, and I'm pretty sure that if I fail, yeah, you'll never hear from me again. I'll be worm food someplace. So this could well be the last live stream. So you can say that you were here for Damien Maguire's last live stream. Now, is it possible to control the Lexus transmission with a Toyota Prius inverter? I would like to think so, and I think it is, because I got about 3 of them back here. I think we should be able to control a good few motors, including DC motors, with Toyota Prius inverters. Not that I suppose the, how should I put this, the executive class quite like DC motors anymore, but hell, I love the damn things personally. Now, all right, so I'm going to open the floor now. I've ranted on for long enough and probably bored everybody to tears. So, talk to me, Goose. What do you want to know? You've got 30 minutes starting now. Wow. Okay, what have we got here? Wow. Okay, you've got me beaten on power control, Dave, I have to say. That's Jesus, 2,400 amp IGBTs. I need some of those. I really need some of those. Yeah, I know about that. We have been looking for to see whether we're creating more heat in the switching stage. So far, not. In fact, I nearly would be saying I think we've got a little bit less heat. That's the crazy thing. Um, at double the switching frequency, yeah, I mean, we should have double the losses. But I just have the suspicion that the driver circuit in the small drive unit is a little bit newer, better, easier to handle the higher frequency stuff. So I guess, like I say, time will tell. And if I'm wrong, yeah, you'll probably never know, but you'll know when I don't reappear here. So that should be good enough. What else you got for me, guys? What sort of power do you think the Prius boost converter could extract from a 22 kilowatt outlet? Pretty much 22 kilowatts. And we will be testing that. Got our trusty, oh yeah, trusty inductor here, and we will be inducting it into the Hall of Fame. So we will be doing that. The whole Tesla thing has thrown my world into a bit of disarray at the minute. So a lot of projects that would be getting time. I might as well disconnect this thing because I don't think it's doing anything, and I'm not going to go messing around with it anymore. Yeah, the whole Tesla thing has pretty much thrown me into disarray over the last couple of weeks, and this week in particular. So apologies that a lot of the projects are starting to slip again, but I'm going to belch. Watch out. Yeah, there we go. Sorted. Right. So yeah, we got to get this microphone back working again so that people don't think I'm Darth Vader. This way, look. All right. Oh, here we go. Now we got more than one question at a time. That's always fun. Have I ever been messing with the Tesla AC compressor? Not yet. Plenty of 400 amp IGBTs, but want more amps. Can you parallel them? Yes. Is it possible to connect two OEM battery packs from different manufacturers into the one battery? Interesting question. It depends on, it really depends on if they're the same chemistry and a lot of other things. It's a little bit too much to answer in a kind of a YouTube-y type thing. Do I think the motor from an Outlander PHEV would be powerful enough for a conversion? Hell yes. Question on Tesla drive units. Is there a physical size difference between them diameter-wise? Yes. You mentioned having a Prius transaxle. The plan for that is it's going in a Toyota Celica for my wife. But don't you guys tell her that. It's going to be a anniversary surprise, okay? So no telling her that stuff. Sharing is good, stress is bad. Yeah, I'll buy that. Oh my god, you guys are killing me tonight. I want to know how the Tesla motors react to cooling. Is the 40 kilowatt-ish continuous output something like a regular car radiator? Not sure, really. I mean, I've driven the hell out of the Panzer on the track. The guys have driven around with the drift car. I'm going to be driving around with another car. I don't think cooling is the problem that people think it is. Am I getting back to the yacht on wheels when the Tesla hiccup is solved? Definitely. Motor and inverter are here for it, guys. So yes, the E65 is going to be fine. You on this, love your channel, thank you. Trying to convert my 83 BMW to EV. Which motor could I install to get a good acceleration? Don't tell her, guys, please. Come on, don't. Jesus. What model is it, just out of curiosity? Dave is doing an E30 touring with my i3 motor, in case you don't believe me. I haven't yet had a chance to do any videos on the €1,000 build, but I do have a backlog of them that I gotta put in for you guys. So we'll definitely do that. Do I have an opinion on the Curtis 1238? I've never used it, but I think if you like, I try not to rubbish stuff, particularly stuff that I haven't used. But I don't know. From what I've read about it, and that it's probably not really something I'd want to use. It's a 525, an 83 525. Would that be an E34? Am I right? E34? Possibly. Is it possible to build a portable three-phase Tesla charger for my Hyundai Ioniq and charge it on a CCS? Wow. E28. E28. Yeah, that is a nice car. You would need, well, if you wanted to use a Tesla charger, you would have to supply three-phase AC to it, and CCS is DC. Have I looked at the Outlander 12 kilowatt hour battery pack? Never got one. Well, not yet anyway. How much must I spend if I want to do the cheapest AC conversion? Well, this is the place to find out, because we're going to be doing that with the Prius bits. I would reckon, if I can, that I'm going to try and do it for $2,000. Would I be Would I be interested in auctioning the E36 at some point? I might do. I have thought about that. Had a guy offer me a swap for a load of parts there about a week ago. But I didn't go for it just because of trying to support it, particularly when the car is not even finished. I might do, yeah. I mean, I might do a kind of a raffle or something like that for you guys. I guess the only concern I'd have is it's probably only going to be sensible for people in Ireland or the UK. It's not going to be practical for people in in other jurisdictions. Big IGBTs are rated at 4,800 amps. Wow. Yeah, I gotta have some crack with that, alright. So anyhow, yeah, it's a lot of questions actually, guys. You're keeping me on my toes this evening. Don't know if I showed you, but my pal Dave is doing an E30 conversion at the minute. And he's getting a lot of very good feedback on it. I think he got himself a lot of new Instagram supporters recently. There's a picture for you guys. I don't know if it's going to come out, but that's the i3 motor. Don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? There it is. Coupled up to a 320D gearbox. So that's going to be fun. People are complaining about the Model X having low tow capacity because of the low continuous power, but changing some things in the Tesla cooling system would increase the capacity. Oh, okay, understood. Well, I've towed trailers with land yacht. You know, I towed 600 kilograms on a trailer, if that's any benefit to people. Can you control Tesla charger A and I to charge with DC on the Ionic? No, you wouldn't be. No, basically is the short version. Question number 2. Do I have any issues passing NCT after I cut out the boot floor in the Panzer? We will soon see, because my good friend and buddy, Mr. Eddie Chip Foose, is currently working away on the Panzer. We will have a video for you guys with some bad music in the background. And stay tuned for that because the Panzer is coming back to Munich factory condition, guys. Have you deal with the Mercedes-Benz 22 kilowatt battery pack? Nope. What am I using as my daily driver? My electric E39. Is the diesel in gearing gearboxes better for EV conversions? Yes. Any suggestions to find a Tesla rear drive motor inverter at a good price? Yeah, honestly, they're a little bit thin on the ground, that's for sure. Not 100% really that I could recommend anything beyond the usual suspects. Try to find, crash car, breaker's yard, eBay, auction sites, that kind of thing. I know around Eastern Europe and Poland there are some places that might, have, a better supply. What motor do I have in the E39? It is a 13-inch series wound DC motor that came out of a 16-ton side-loading forklift from London docks about 8, maybe even 9 years ago now, and it's beast of a thing. And it's it's been good. It's been going a long time now. Coming up on 5 years in February of 2019. Any update on when I'm doing the live conversion with Dave from this strange person here? Not sure yet, darling. But I will, I suppose, figure things out when I get back from Team B land. What do I recommend as a cost-effective battery and charger combo? Oh, it depends what you mean by cost-effective. The Tesla chargers, I think, are probably about the best bang for your buck these days. And of course, I would say that because then I want to sell you one of my crappy boards. Battery packs, again, it depends what you're looking for. There's quite a selection now that we didn't have even a short few years ago. You've got Nissan Leafs, Zoe's in the US. You've got the Volt. There's a lot of, there's a lot of stuff out there, guys, now where you can get batteries. And there's some very good ones too. I mean, it's not like the early days at all. So, get a bit of shine on the head here. Have I a bit of shine on the head? Damn. I think I need a haircut too. But anyone want to venture a guess on that? Do I need a haircut? Anyway, back to social media till the next questions turn up. It's kind of like the buses. You get none and then 20 turn up at the same time. Hey, what do you guys think about Elon's tweeting? Right, pretty weird. Oh, now Elon's tweeting again. Well, the good news is every time that I tweet, the stock doesn't, go up and down. The old EVBM stock doesn't fluctuate. So I'm working with Chip Foose. Yes, he is a how should I put this? He's an kind of an Irish answer to Chip Foose, but nonetheless, a pretty serious uh, bodywork fixer dude, and he's doing a fantastic job on the Panther. I was actually up there this morning. He has taken it upon himself now to repair the butcher job that I did of installing the charging port with lots of Tiger Seal. So he's doing it properly this time. I might be overestimating the frequency of Elon's tweets, given that I follow 12 people. Hey, I follow 14. Come on, Pete's sake. How do you identify whether an electric motor will be suitable for an EV? Yikes. Yeah. Are we talking about DC motors, or are we talking about OEM motors? Because if you take, say, a Nissan Leaf motor, well, if it's moved the Nissan Leaf, chances are it's going to move your car. Tech inspection here is going to kill me when I start shopping into a car. Do you want any change done in approved shops? You see, you shouldn't be cutting up cars because you don't know what you're doing and it could be dangerous. Best leave that to the professionals. How would someone get started in EVs with no experience, with no prior experience? Pick one thing and start with it. Anything, motor, controller, charger, whatever. Pick something and start playing with it. It's the best advice I can give anyone. Got the board from me yesterday. It looks good. Good. I guess I should be in the garage right now, but instead you're here listening to moron features. Well, I mean, what can I say? I mean, sorry. But I just figured I would get a live stream in before I end up char grilled. Something that wasn't in a car originally. Yes. Juicy. Well, I guess we're back to talking about forklift motors. Oh, God. Okay, short version. You want it long, you want it reasonably big diameter, at least 9 inches, and you want there to be 8 brushes minimum, and you want lots of bars on the commutator. Then you want to go back about 5 years and watch some of my super crappy videos before I even had a HD camcorder, where I show you how to rebuild one of those motors and clean it up and insulate it and advance the brushes and all that kind of thing. Oh God. Oh, I'm starting to lose it. I'm losing it, guys. Yeah, that could well be the case. I could end up, being given the concrete overcoat with some Tesla drive units, because let's face it, they have 6 of them right now that are basically boat anchors. Quick comparison on the Gen 2 and Gen 3 Tesla chargers. The Gen 2 charger does 10 kilowatts. The Gen 3 charger does 18 kilowatts. How long do I reckon until the E36 will be ready? Assuming I survive next week, I'd like to think it should be done before winter sets in, because I'm trying to. Yeah, I've got to weld up the sills too, because the sills are rotted on the rear jacking points. Both of the rear jacking points are completely rusted out. So I've got one of them about halfway done, and I'm going to do the second one. And then once I have that done, I can go get it tested, and then they'll find all the other junk that I have to fix, and then I'll make some more boring videos. And all things being considered. And then I've got Dave's E30 to get ready. And then the Panzer has to come back from Chip. Oh, Jesus. Anyone want a job? Anyone want to work for me? I'm a dipstick, so you're probably not the best, employer, but all I can promise you is lots of, what was it? What was it Churchill said? Um, oh, geez, he said a lot of things, but this one's, all I can offer you is, what was it? Is, oh, I forget now. Jesus. It's too late in the day. Anyway, is pain, suffering, tears, and strife. So when the IGBT is in the small drive unit blow, does it blow all three phases? No. It usually blows the high side of the middle phase. And you pick parts from some of them and get one working. Per, you're just too smart for me. See, you're stealing all my ideas. How am I going to look great if you guys keep coming up with better ideas? What is this? Some kind of a community to help each other out? I'm just in it for the money. Right. I will work for you. Oh God. Okay. Could hand solder boards. Well, you're hired, as Donald Trump would have said. Can those Prius buck boostings be used as high power 12-volt source for things like a car audio? I don't know. That was it. Yes, I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and sweat. So that is what any employee that dares enter this workshop can expect. And lots of hot air gun stuff. Oh yeah, and having to deal with me. Dealing with me is hard. Ask anyone that's dealt with me. I'm probably a class 2 dipstick, to say the least. I'm trying to avoid the profanities, guys, because the last thing that I would possibly want would be for my non-revenued videos to be demonetized by me slanging away here for 5 minutes turning the air blue. I need to smoke a joint and relax. Well, I am going to watch Mission Impossible 6 though when we get finished here. That I am going to do because Mission Impossible 6 has got some definite wee moments in there. And I've been watching a clip. Did you guys see the clip of the bathroom scene? It's pretty wild, people flying everywhere, they're busting up the bathroom, all that kind of thing. Yeah, dipsticks don't have EVs. See, I got it backwards. Correct. Oh, dipsticks don't have EVs, therefore I can't be a dipstick. Is that what you're trying to say to me? Anyway, we've got 2 minutes left, guys, before we go into injury time. And what do I mean by that? Well, I've got a scalpel. That's what I mean by it. So, any more questions, queries, comments, or sarcastic ideas? Trying to steal my thunder. Oh, by the way, the one thing that you can be guaranteed as well as an employee of EVBMW is I will steal all of your ideas and put my name on them, and then I will shunt you aside. Can I shortly explain how slamming the hardware shutdown gives a harder off situation than the actual switching? Is it because all of them shut off at the same time? Yes. What is a ballpark figure of money you would need to start buying equipment to start playing about EVs? Yeah. Well, I mean, I got I got 2 forklift motors free, so theoretically 0. But start from there, and but don't be discouraged. You know, don't do this thing. Well, oh Jesus, I don't have $50,000 to buy all the parts I need today to build a car. Therefore, it's all over. You found the NSA chip. Now, is that the one in the computer or in my head? Because I have already disabled the one in the computer, but the one in my head is, gotta start cutting. I'm pretty sure that the viewership would probably increase if I started, kind of get into the head. But anyway, considering that I'm on dual antiplatelet therapy for the old hearty stuff, probably not the best idea to go carving on myself, is it? So I'm Robin Hood. Yes, I steal from the poor and I give it to the people that can pay me the dollars. Okay, I do not give stuff away. Ask anybody. I mean, that open source stuff is for losers. Right. Anything else, guys? I'll go into the bonus round. I'll give you 5 more minutes to annoy me with stuff. Too much to add to the EV community. Okay, right. Oh yeah, I could do the nose thing. Oh, that nose thing killed me when he put the probe up the nose. Oh Jesus! I mean, I was a teenager when I saw that, and that just I couldn't. I had to keep my nose like this forever. It was crazy. So, get yourself this thing, guys, for just $20 on Amazon. You too can have one of these Chinese booster converters, and very handy. They can go up to 120 volts, and they're short circuit proof too, so quite handy. I will try to keep up the great work, Andy, if what I'm doing now is great work, because can I fit a Nissan Leaf motor in a smart car? I've got a Nissan Leaf motor out there, but I don't have a smart car. The smart car is too small for me because I need big cars, because I'm a big guy. I've got a big head. I've got a mega ego, so I got to pack that. Okay, so big cars, Beamers, 7 Series. That's what we're going for next. Wow, thank you guys. So I guess I don't know if I'm brave, but I'm certainly stupid. Because a smarter person will probably be doing something else rather than this. But oh, someone has a question. Yay. Okay, Travis, talk to me, dude. Would I buy an Orion BMS or use a Volt or Tesla BMS? I would not buy an Orion BMS. I would use a Volt or a Tesla one. Why? Well, I'm gonna go against my my earlier staged thing that I don't want to rubbish people's designs, but I don't like the Orion BMS. Whereas I think the Tesla and the Volt ones were actually designed by people that might just have played with a battery or two. Evening, everyone. The IMEV motor, yes, very good idea. What was my day job? Well, I pretended to be an electronics engineer in a R&D company. Thank you for the chat. No problem. That's what I'm here for. You have an upcoming project with a Nissan Leaf motor in an E30. Well, as I said, my good buddy Dave is putting an i3 motor in a BMW E30 Touring. Just want a small car working and then steal his ideas. Yes, that's what you do. Good strategy. That's what it's all about, guys. Rip off anyone, take their shit, and run with it. That's what you need to do. All right. I have got a date with Mission Impossible 6, so I am going to let you guys... any sign of my Chidemo plug? What do you mean, Dave? It's mine now. I mean, it's mine. I mean, it's my Chidemo plug. Okay, and yes, it will be making an appearance soon because I can't let anyone know this, but we're going to be DC fast charging the Panzer and also building our own DC fast charger. So, mum's the word. When will you get video coverage for Dave's E30 touring? Oh, hell yes. Now Dave is a little bit camera shy, so I'll be I'll be the body double for him. Yeah, I will. I'll fill in for him, and but he'll do the driving because, as you guys know, I can't track drive for crap. Something else I gotta fix. Right. I'm gonna sign. My God, look at this. What? How much money I need as your employee for 1 month? Oh, right. You mean how much money that you're going to give me to work for me for 1 month? I think. I mean, I could tolerate someone for maybe 3 grand a month. You think? I mean, if you want to give me 3 grand a month, you can sit here. I've got a cheap Chinese soldering station. I've got solder. Well, what's that? That's not solder. It's flux. So you can get started on there. So that's it, guys. I'm gonna go watch a film, and then I've got to pack my stuff for going to Team B Land, and Team B Land is not around the corner from here. So hopefully I will see you in the next live stream, and if not, it has been a true pleasure, and we will hopefully see you in a normal video again, assuming that I survive that. So until then, make sure to send me all of your ideas. Oh yeah, donate to my Patreon and PayPal with as much money as you absolutely have, and I will spend it and then pretend that I earned it somewhere. And that's it, guys. Catch you in the next bald-headed live stream with sound problems. Farewell, guys. Auf Wiedersehen, or Auf Wiederhören, actually. Right. We now to start ripping off more people's ideas.